Hi, I'm Michelle Weiner Davis, and in the last video, besides introducing myself, I talked to you about some of the basic underlying assumptions of the divorce busting method. In particular, I talked to you about how hopelessness is the real cancer in marriage and how good therapists are hope mongers. I also did an exercise with you to hopefully help you become more aware of what might be your particular hope blind spot. And in today's video, I'm going to address what I consider to be the most common blind spot of so many therapists, and it's the frustration we feel when only one spouse is willing to show up for therapy. Have you ever encountered a situation where a frantic wife calls in, her marriage is falling apart, but her husband won't come for therapy? And all of a sudden you feel that sinking sense of discouragement, and you offer her 5 or 10 suggestions of how she could approach her husband differently to try to lure him into the session. And she insists that they won't work because she knows she's tried them before and she's probably right. Listen, do you consider doing couples therapy with one person's second-rate therapy? And is part of that due to the fact that your mind harkens back to graduate school where you were taught that you can't do couples therapy with just one person, or that if you try, it's actually unethical? Well, if that's what you've been taught and that's what you think, I want you to listen up very closely today, because I'm going to share with you what I've learned over the last 3 decades of working with couples, helping them back from the brink of divorce. You can help people affect relationship change single-handedly. You can help people learn how to change their marriage without the help of the other spouse. You can teach people that it takes one to tango. Now, I know this firsthand because I've developed an incredibly successful telephone coaching program which requires working with just the one person who calls in and helping that person approach the situation in new and different ways, so much so that they save their marriage. And we've been helping thousands of couples do that every single day. In my own practice, I often work with just one person and do so effectively. Now, this is really great news for lots of reasons. One is, you know this, sometimes only one person shows up. Secondly, sometimes they both show up at the outstart, but only one person stays in, the other one drops out. Or sometimes you have both bodies there, but only one person is truly motivated to push up his or her sleeves and work on the marriage. It behooves you to have skills that are designed to really maximize your effectiveness in working with the one person who's motivated to change. Now, learning how to do couples work with individuals, or it takes one to tango as I call it, will change the way that you work with clients. In fact, at the risk of sounding sort of boastful, I will tell you that it will actually change your life, but I'll tell you more about that later. So let's go back to that desperate woman who called your office. Imagine, instead of feeling concerned that her husband isn't willing to come in, you feel pleased that she's willing to come in because she's the more motivated person, and you actually are looking forward to working with her alone, because sometimes you can say and do things that you can't do if the other partner is there. Imagine, too, that instead of feeling concerned about her husband's unwillingness to attend sessions, you're just absolutely relieved because you have confidence that this is going to be successful. You're going to help her identify her goals and a concrete plan to achieve those goals in those sessions with her alone. There's another benefit to being skilled at helping one person affect relationship change single-handedly. You see, the principles apply in so many different kinds of situations, not just marriages. They work with kids, they work with in-laws, they work with parents, they work with friends, they work with co-workers. You know, in some ways you could say that these principles are like skeleton keys, unlocking solutions to so many of life's problems. And the reason I know that therapists, once they learn how to do it takes one to tango with their clients, are translating it to their own lives and the different relationships that they can apply it to, is because when I do seminars for therapists, which I do a lot, and we have breaks, I expect lots of questions during those breaks about how to apply the material that I've talked about in clinical situations. During those breaks, boy, do I get questions, but they're not about their clients. They're about the therapist's personal lives, about their marriages, about their friends, about their relatives. What happens is once you begin to work this way with your clients, you begin to see the practicality of applying it to every relationship in your life. You become more effective at those relationships. And the good news about that is if you are feeling good about the relationships in your life when you're working with clients about relationship issues, you, my friend, are walking the talk. And when you walk the talk, you feel more authentic, you feel more genuine, and you have a more genuine relationship. And we all know that one of the most salient ingredients in successful therapeutic outcome is the relationship that you engender with your clients. It takes one to tango can be the underpinning of a more authentic and real relationship with yourself, with the people in your life, and with your clients.